So let's take a few questions. We have Edwin here. He says, I do have a question. With the pandemic, are you guys seeing a surge on remote positions, or do companies still kind of open to remote positions? Would love to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I've never heard this question before. I definitely don't get asked this every day. No, so yes, good question though. It's everyone wants to know this right now, and it's so relevant. So the the answer is there are more remote positions than there previously were before the COVID-19 pandemic. But the the difficulty is that means different things to different studios. So for example, I tend to say two different terms that sound like they mean the same thing, but actually mean two different things. So there's working from home and there's working remotely. Now, working from home is to me what I'm doing, and that is when I am in the same country as my employer and I work from my home and I'm on a permanent contract. I work full time and I have my full salary and benefits and everything else. That's working from home. Working remotely is working in a different country from home to where your employer is. And the reason that that makes such a big difference is because that usually means for most countries that you need to be on a freelance contract, because the in most countries you cannot be given legally, you cannot be given a permanent contract if you don't have a residence and you don't live in the same country as your employer. And that means so many different things. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail on them, but that means you need to be a limited company usually. That means that you're taxed differently, which is often not great for the candidate because it means you earn less money in your pocket. And it means that you can't have benefits included in your contracts, like holidays, like bonuses. You can sometimes get bonuses through a different means, but the it means so many things, and that makes it really difficult for both candidates to commit to, but also for studios to be able to say, we can definitely do this across the board. So typically speaking, a lot of studios are usually saying, for someone really senior who we are not going to have a chance of getting unless they can be remote only, then we can maybe consider it. But generally speaking, for both our and their sake and for future proofing, we at least want them to be in the same country as us, so that they can work from home or work flexibly rather than just full on working remotely. So yes, there are more remote jobs, but it isn't as simple as just, okay, well, I stay where I am and then I work. And that's one of the things that is my job to help people to understand, because it's really complicated.